morning, Bitcoins! It's Thursday, May 16th. It's 8:27 p.m. in Warsaw, Poland. I'm a leveraged buyout with barbecue sauce. Here are today's Mad Bits. Mt. Gox, like e-gold, is foiled in U.S. operations by failing to register as a money transmitter. Bitcoin law writes, money transmitters, like Dwolla and PayPal and Western Union, have to register with the federal government as some protection against money laundering. Mt. Gox, with some apparent hubris in believing that registration requirements did not apply abroad or that bitcoins were somehow exempt, did not register. This is pretty much the same fate that brought down e-gold. E-gold, of course, was a much more centralized and subject to government interference, with a single point of failure. Mt. Gox has become a dominant Bitcoin exchange. Their Dwolla account is now frozen. Their failure to register as a money transmitter could now end with a significant amount of customer funds frozen. One of Russia's largest e-payment systems, WebMoney, now supports Bitcoins. After depositing Bitcoins, the WebMoney user can exchange them into WMZ and make a purchase at one of tens of thousands of online shops connected to the WebMoney system. While Bitcoin seems to be under attack in the United States, it is quickly being adopted in Russia and China. Are we seeing a giant balancing game with the bear and the dragon on one side and the us on the other? Bitcoin battle dramatized as a war by Washington Post. Jerry Brito, a scholar at George Mason University, urges federal regulators to tread lightly. Bitcoin has the potential to be a boon to the economy and a boon to merchants. It could disrupt traditional payment networks that have not been innovated for a long time and reduce the cost of financial services. You can't put the genie back into the bottle. Like Napster and P2P networks, attempts to shut them down will only force Bitcoin underground, a major victory for the banks and credit card companies. Brito worries that the Bitcoin community will be caught flat-footed if this week's enforcement action turns out to be the first step in a broader crackdown. I hate to say it, but the Bitcoin community needs to start lobbying. It needs to start educating policymakers, lobbyists, and influencers, and the impossibility or difficulty in getting rid of all the bad uses. Bitcoin is like water. Good and bad, it will spread everywhere. But Brito is right. Bitcoin needs to be protected. How do we start a Bitcoin lobbying firm, or group, or think tank? If we were the conservative movement, what would we do? Well, first we'd throw $1 million at the problem, rent some office space, and have sodas brought in. Ha 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 ha. HBO Recount Y2K election movie reference. One more thing. Gas stations should accept Bitcoin. Gas stations should accept Bitcoin. Gas stations should accept Bitcoin. Bitcoin may be the space-age future of money and have more in common with the distributed gathering of solar energy than the old world digging of dinosaur bones. But in the world of payments, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Gas stations hate the credit card companies. They were the first ones to inform me of the concept that the merchants have to pay fees to the credit card companies for part of their transactions, and the first ones to make the consumer cover the fee. Of course, the oil barons have a point. It's not as though the credit card companies do any work or add any value to the transaction. It's not as if they weren't just another set of worthless middlemen that we don't need. Dinosaurs. Just like the record industry, about to be discarded in much the same way. The used record bin is filling up, and it's time to price gas in Bitcoin. Gas stations can easily configure their touchscreens to display the QR code, which can be scanned into your smartphone. Or they could develop a gasoline app for your iPhone, a savers club that would also track your purchases, even map your purchases, and show your most popular stores, including a mayor system like Foursquare, even offer discounts inside your store. Of course, you'd want to offer Wi-Fi at your gas stations, and maybe have nicer insides, more like Starbucks, or have nice restaurants. You could even use GPS to direct the drivers to restaurants and negotiate for the gas station to take a cut for the recommendation. Of course, the cut could be paid in Bitcoins, and the restaurant could accept Bitcoins, and the servers could have scannable QR codes artistically designed onto coasters for tips. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Too much into the future. We've gone too far. But the real reasons gas stations should accept Bitcoins is because it's simpler. There are no fees, no credit card companies, no banks, no middleman. They could even design a custom watermarked QR code with their logo behind it, put stickers on all their pumps, and collect all their monies in one giant account that they could, of course, instantly convert into USD or pounds or euros at will, with no interference from any credit card companies or banks or governments. Shouldn't mention the last one. Nobody likes it when you point that out. It seems like something that gas stations would want to do. I look forward to it. Gas stations should accept Bitcoin. Gas stations should accept Bitcoin. Gas stations should accept Bitcoin. Carthago Delenda Est. This has been Mad Bitcoins. Mad Bitcoins. Mad Bitcoins.